thought for the day. Elevating your communication will awaken your inner leader and help you reach your true potential.
Welcome to 7 Minutes for Yourself. I'm Christina Aina, and I'm so glad you've joined me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. Let's take this time to reconnect with ourselves and improve our well-being.
In today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself, we explore the mental adjustments that will enable us to communicate more effectively and influentially. Have a listen.
So I want to share with you the 3 mindset shifts that you have an opportunity to make that will have a powerful impact on your speaking. The way you speak, the way you touch people. And when I say the way you speak, I want you to understand not the way you speak like it's a performance, but the way you speak in that the way it impacts the listener. You want to speak for impact, not to impress. Speak to inspire, not to impress. So if you want to inspire people and have a powerful impact on people, let me invite you into 3 things that you can look at for mindset. Number 1, understand and get comfortable with transparency. Most people speak as an expert. This is what I know and this is what I've decided. And while that's important, I'm an expert by some people's indicators. And so I must own the body of information that I know about. However, people don't necessarily care what you know as an expert and where you are now. The larger part of your audience really wants to know about what you did back then. They're not where you are now. They're where you were. Often we want to look so together and on top of things that we let ourselves off the hook from sharing the journey from the early days. People want to know not what does it feel like to stand on your mountaintop as an expert. They want to know, how did you climb? See, your journey is juicy, not your arrival. Your journey creates the connection with your audience. I look back and I look when I was on Oprah and when I was on Larry King and when I was on Steve Harvey and when I was on the Today Show, and I studied those because I was like, what happened? Why did they go so viral? Why did 47 million people view this video in 72 hours? Why did 9,782 people sign up on my database in 3 days back in 2008 when I was on Oprah? And my name wasn't even out there anywhere. How did that happen? I was fascinated with it. Every single time on each one of those national platforms and even on the local platforms that I just shared with you, it was because of the journey, not the arrival. They didn't care that I had a book that sold for $1 million. They didn't care that I was in The Secret. They didn't care about the arrival. They cared about the $11.42 in my bank account. They cared about the being in the mirror and reminding myself that I'm good enough and that I can turn my crawl into a walk. They cared about me wrapping Jelani in a towel for 2 days and then committing that I'll never be this broken again. They cared about me at 224 pounds fighting to get my life back and saying enough is enough. They cared about the journey. So get comfortable with being transparent. It doesn't mean your audience is a dump zone. Don't get on camera or don't get in front of audience and just dump. Take them somewhere high, but let them go through the journey with you. Transparency is powerful. Number 2, lean into what could feel like a breakdown so that you can help celebrate your breakthrough. Now, so many people hate the word breakdown. Like, I don't like the word breakdown. I didn't like the word breakdown. I remember when my coach first introduced the word breakdown to me, I'm like, hello, no, we will not be discussing my breakdown right here in front of people. No matter how far advanced you are in your journey, there will always be things that you get to work through. Instead of ignoring them, pushing them aside, I want you to invite yourself to lean into what we can call a breakdown, which really is a learning curve, which really is a blind spot. Most breakdowns occur in your blind spot. Invite in that. Where's my blind spot? Where am I not seeing? So for so many years, I loved to serve people, but my blind spot was my profit margin. Hashtag had none. I'm serving everybody, but I couldn't grow my business. I can just hustle my business. How many times, raise your hand, type in chat, comment if you know that you're not working a business, you're working a hustle. meaning you can't stop, you won't stop, you don't get to stop because you're not making enough money on each deal to grow your business. Or in relationship, I didn't realize my breakdown was I knew how to give, but I didn't know how to receive. I'll never forget a woman at an event wanting to pour into me. And I was like, no, I'm here to serve you. And she stopped and looked me in my eyes, and she was like a black older woman. So she had this like auntie, grandma kind of look. And she said, excuse me, but what makes you think you're the only one that has the right to give? Please don't block my blessings. I was like, okay. And I realized that my giving muscle was developed. My receiving muscle was an atrophy. And so leaning into the breakdowns is synonymous with leaning into the blind spot. Don't ignore it. Invite yourself to look at it. You're grown. Grown folks business. Grown folks life navigation. Grown folks, real grown folks, emotionally mature grown folks, they lean into the breakdown. Because if you lean into the breakdown long enough, the breakdown leads to a breakthrough. And the third thing I'd like to invite you to do is I'd like to invite you to address any negative self-talk that's occupying space in your mind. And when you address it, when you look at it, when you expose the negative self-talk, the very next thing you get to do is evict it.
That concludes today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. Today and every day with your kiddo is a gift. Enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in.